Welcome back, everyone. Time for us to take a look at the Samsung Galaxy S22, the one that just came out, and compare it against the Samsung Galaxy S10 and see which specific phone you should go and pick up. Now, I will tell you the Galaxy S22 is the better phone in every single area, but it's still very interesting because I love the Galaxy S10. It's one of the best phones ever made, in my opinion. So let's see how they both compare. If you want to pick up either one of these phones, including some ones in between, links will be down in the description. You can get them from there and help support the channel at the same time. Now on the front, the Samsung Galaxy S10 actually had a beautiful 6.1-inch dynamic AMOLED display. It's 1440p and it is a perfect panel. I mean, this thing is beautiful still. It's curved on the sides, which is beautiful. A little bit of bezel on the bottom, a little bit of bezel up top compared to the S22 obviously, but it's really not that bad. Hole punch display, really the only thing that's even kind of not even an issue, but something that's kind of willing to note is no 120 hertz. But other than that, this is a really good panel, and even now in 2022, it holds up really well. The S22, on the other hand, it's a very, very good panel. 6.1-inch dynamic AMOLED display as well. I hate the Samsung Pay thing. It is a 1080p panel, which is a little bit different. Obviously, this one was 1440p, this is 1080p, but you do have a 120 hertz on this panel, which is great. The hole punch display is centered, which is cool, but I definitely do think I like the design still more on something like the Galaxy S10, although the Galaxy S22 is probably the one I would side with now. In terms of thinness and thickness, there's a little bit of a difference as well. The Galaxy S22 is a much thicker phone, at least that's what it feels like. Maybe the maximum thickness is about the same, but because the Galaxy S10 kind of curves inwards, you're pretty much feeling a thinner point on the S10 where you're feeling the thickest point at all times on the Galaxy S22. So definitely a thicker phone. But one thing about the S22 is it feels much smaller than the Galaxy S10, even though it's pretty much the same size display. On the back, we have glass backs on both, but we have the standard glass back on the S10, where the Galaxy S22 has that frosted glass back, which looks and feels beautiful. Definitely one of my favorite things about this phone for sure. It feels much more premium than the S22, and it feels more premium, S21, and it feels more premium than the S10 as well. Triple camera setups on both, IP certification on both as well. You do have a microSD card slot on the Galaxy S10, and you have a headphone jack as well on the Galaxy S10 too. So that's some really, really premium I/O to have on this type of phone. And that's definitely one of my favorite things about this phone for sure, and how it holds up in 2022 without a doubt. Now, in terms of longevity, this is another thing to keep in mind. With the Galaxy S10, I think it's probably on its last version of software. I think One UI 4 is probably the last one it's going to get. So it's going to last for another year now. And then after that, the Galaxy S20 is going to last longer than this one. But this one, I think, is one of those phones that the software is, it's not going to last as long as the hardware. The hardware of this phone is so good, but it's pretty much on its last, it's still supported. So I wouldn't even worry about it. And it's getting a year of security updates. It's still supported for the time being, which is great. The Galaxy S22 pretty much is just getting started with software updates. And this is a really big thing to keep in mind. Samsung has increased the software support once more, which is awesome. So we're getting 4 years of OS updates and 5 years of security updates. So this phone's pretty much lasting like 5 to 6 years, which is great. Speaking about software updates, we have one right here. So without a doubt, I would highly recommend you. I mean, if you want to get a phone that's going to last the longest amount of time, this is the one for sure. So in terms of that covers it up there. Now let's go and do a speed comparison between both these phones. The Samsung Galaxy S10 has that Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 chipset inside of it with 8 gigabytes of RAM on each of the models that came out with this phone, where the Samsung Galaxy S22 has that Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chipset inside of it with 8 gigabytes of RAM as well on this device. And real quick, the S10 did have a 6 gigabyte of RAM option, but this is the 6 gig RAM option, so keep that in mind. So let's go and see which one is the faster one between both of these. Okay, there we go. Hopefully it looks a little clean for you guys. All the apps are cleared out in the background as you guys can tell, so let's get into it. Let's do phone calls, 3, 2, 1. And the S22 was definitely faster there. Let's go and get into messages, 3, 2, 1. I think I don't really know which one was faster there, to be honest. Let's do camera, 3, 2, 1. And I would definitely say the Galaxy S22 was probably a little bit faster there. Let's go and take a photo on night mode, 3, 2, 1. So this one did not automatically detect night mode on that one, which was weird. Galaxy Store, 3, 2, 1. And about the same thing too, not really that big of a difference. Play Store, 3, 2, 1. And definitely the Galaxy S22 is faster here. This is a test where you can pretty much see which one is the fastest one, and the Play Store is always one of those apps that goes through. And you can even tell from these two, I don't know if you can tell with the camera, but the Galaxy S22 is much smoother than the Galaxy S10. The S10 is glitching up a little bit, the S22 extremely smooth, which probably has more to do with that, 120 Hz display. As always, we have a bunch of these third-party apps we can test as well. So let's get into it. Let's do Temple Run 2, which I don't even have here, which is weird. Let's do Snake vs. Blocks, 3, 2, 1. And the S22 was faster here. The S10 a little bit slower. Definitely not a problem at all. Hopping out of this one. Let's do stack, 3, 2, and I don't know where all these applications are on this phone. Snapchat, 3, 2, 1. S22 was faster there. Fruit Ninja, 3, 2, 1. And it looks like the S22 is going to be the faster one here as well. And you can tell, actually, that was kind of close. They kind of got into this panel, at least the next panel, a little bit faster than I was expecting. Let's go and get into something like Instagram, 3, 2, 1. And the S10 was actually a little bit faster there. That was kind of surprising too. And let's do thank you, 3, 2, 1. And the S22 was faster there as well. Gameplay is probably going to be very similar. And let's go and hop out of this one, and let's go and do both, I guess. 3, 2, 1. And the S22 was faster, but that was also very, very close on the Galaxy S10. Now we can go and get into here and get into some of these third-party applications. Let's do clock, 3, 2, 1, or some of these first-party applications, if I will. We can go into game launcher, 3, 2. Let's go into gallery, 3, 2, 1. So there's a lot of similarities here. I'm actually not seeing like a crazy big difference in terms of speed. You know, and again, this one came out in 2019. Let's go and get into something like, you know, go play music or something. We can do calendar, 3, 2, 1. Dude, there's a lot of similarity here. So I will go ahead and do a full speed comparison between these, but I'm actually pretty surprised about the similarity in terms of performance. I think the S22 is the faster one for sure and the smoother one, but there is a lot more similarity than I thought. In terms of the camera setup, we have a triple camera setup on both. The Galaxy S10 has a 12 megapixel wide-angle lens, 12 megapixel telephoto lens, then a 16 megapixel ultra-wide sensor, where the Galaxy S22 has that 50 megapixel wide-angle lens, 10 megapixel telephoto lens, then a 12 megapixel ultra-wide sensor. Now, as I've kind of mentioned before, both these phones, you know, have great cameras. The Galaxy S10's camera was really good when it first came out, and it's still really good. 4K at 60 on the back and the front of both of these. The Galaxy S22 does have the capability, actually, of going up to 8K on the back, which is amazing. Both of them kind of have the same thing going on, so they're not really like crazy cool features, but if I go ahead and go here, you can see from, at least in my opinion, there's definitely more features on the Galaxy S22's camera, but I'm still surprised how great of a job the S10 still does. The S10's camera capability is still great. You know, you have the capability of zooming in, zooming out a lot, which is great, and the camera is going to look awesome. I love this triple camera setup for sure, and when I do my full camera comparison, you guys will be able to tell. And the Galaxy S22's camera is definitely the better one. Samsung teamed up with Snapchat and Instagram and TikTok to actually improve the video quality of these and the camera quality in general of those applications, and that's one of the biggest, you know, complaints. And now that should be improved with this phone as well. So when I do my full camera comparison, I'll let you guys know. There's also a little bit of a difference in the battery size department. You're getting a bigger battery size on the S22 by 300 milliamp hours, which is nice. But that begs the question, which specific phone should you go and pick up? Should you save some money and buy an S10? Or should you spend some more money and get some Galaxy S22 action? What I'm going to tell you is the Galaxy S22 is definitely the better phone. You know, this one is not really that big of a competition. This one is going to be having such a long lifespan ahead of it. You have an amazing camera setup, amazing speed, 120 hertz display, pretty much everything that the S10 had, but just better, I guess. But the Galaxy S10, for its price tag right now and for how old this phone is, I am surprised how great of a job Samsung did in 2019, how this phone still holds up so well. You have a micro SD card slot on this phone, a headphone jack, which is amazing, beautiful display, great build quality, pretty much everything you'd want in a phone. This thing still completely holds up. It's definitely not perfect compared to nowadays. You don't have a 120 hertz panel. You don't have, you know, like 12 gigabytes of RAM you can spec up to on like an S22 Ultra, but this is still a very good phone, and I would highly recommend you guys to pick it up for sure. So in terms of that covers it up there. Like I said, if you guys want to pick these phones up, links are down in the description. Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed the video, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.